Hi everybody. I don't know what happened to my video. It cut me off, so I'm starting another video. I was talking about digging deep into the emotional part of your childhood and adulthood. Childhood and young adulthood, where if you were molested or sexually assaulted when you were a child or a young adult, teenager, this stuff that's been going on since Thursday is bringing a lot of things up that are associated with that. Things that we all, and for the person that's watching this that can relate, things that we think we've worked through that actually we did work through. However, there's still some residual energy of that pain and that traumatic experience to deal with. So there's several events that I went through that I can't talk about yet on here. Eventually I will. But when I look back on my life, when this all started happening Thursday or Friday, and Sunday was extremely hard for me. Sunday was probably one of the hardest days I've had in a long time, and Monday partial. I felt like I was raw. I felt like my skin was on the outside of my body, and I didn't really want to share it with anybody around me, and I haven't really shared it with anybody, really. I had one or two friends ask me how I did over the weekend, and I had a tough time, but I didn't go into detail because it's very hard to talk about because with people who don't understand molestation or abandonment issues. Majority of the people that I know, and I'm not saying everybody, but the majority of people I know have never gone through the traumatic experiences I have. Not that I'm saying that to get pity, because I don't want anybody ever to feel sorry for me. I share this only because I know there's someone out there that may come across my channel and can relate to the pain and the things I've gone through and may learn from the processes that help me or the things I've done to help myself, or when clients come to me that need spiritual advice or want to know how I got through something. That's why I share my vulnerability and my past with you all here at my channel, because if I could help one young adult or one child or one adult get over a pain that they didn't know that they still had buried deep within inside them, then I've done my part as a person, as a healer in this life. So the purpose that I'm going through all of this stuff is because it's making me a stronger person so that I can help others heal themselves or see the things that they need to see to heal themselves. So, a lot of my family doesn't know what happened to me as a child. I don't really talk about it with a lot of people in my family because I don't have that many family left. But I was molested as a child. Let's see. I remember, I know there were three of them, three different men. Two I specifically remember. One I am not sure of, but I had a memory of him about, I'm not going to say the exact time frame because in case the person that, anyways, let's just say within the past year, I had a very, very, very strong memory of the third one, which was when I was a teenager, a very young teenager. And this was a friend's brother, and they took advantage of me. I think I was drugged in the alcohol that they gave us, even though we were underage. And I had a memory because a certain tragic event happened, and I saw a picture, and it triggered that memory. And so that was within this past year. And so it's been really heavy on my heart because those of you who are out there that are survivors, you know how it feels to have memories of actual events that happen to you. It's one thing to know that it happened to you, because I block out a lot of things from my childhood. It's one thing to know that it happened to you, just know. But it's another thing to actually remember to the point where you can smell them. You can feel their touch. And I'm not trying to upset anybody that's had this happen to them. But I just want you to relate. I want you to understand that I understand and that this is true for me. And so it was very hard for me. I felt very, very, very ashamed. And I felt like it was my fault. And that's a typical thing that survivors feel. So that's the beginning of this. So basically what's going on right now is, for those of you who don't understand these terms, I apologize, but you will understand. So if you don't understand while you're listening to this, I promise you, as you go through your spiritual healing and you meditate or you pray or you eat clean or you constantly honor yourself, you will realize what I'm talking about. But we, as spiritual people who are at a higher vibration, those of us who see without our eyes, those of us who see with our third eye, there was a huge download that happened, I want to say probably Wednesday or Thursday. And it's affecting those of us who are extremely positive about life and those of us who are meant to be healers to help other people on their paths. And I'm a firm believer that I was chosen for this and that I chose this life. I chose these horribly tragic and traumatic things in my life because it's a purpose to help other people, especially children. So I've been pushing along before this, writing a series for a little children's book where I want to write about this little girl all the way up until she's older in her experiences in life like I went through, to help other young adults and children who are going through this, and adults to understand, parents and family members. So it encouraged me to continue doing that. But the download has been very traumatic for me because it's been emotional. So let me rewind and explain to you this. So those of you out there who have abandonment issues, who have never had unconditional love in their family, have been kind of like, you know, the one outside the box, right? You have family that, oh, hi, you know, hi, oh, I love you, all this, but they don't really engage you, right? They don't really, if you called them on the phone for help tomorrow, would they be there? That's what I mean, right? So for me, I had a very, very messed up Sunday where I had did a video of this a few weeks ago, a month ago, about my purging items in my household. And I realized the other day, I came across this woman's video, which I posted on my Facebook page, about hoarding and what hoarding really is. And I'm not talking about the hoarding show where you see people who have disgustingly dirty houses and roaches and mice and food all over, or the ones that just throw their container on the floor. That there's hoarders and then there's just slobs. I'm talking about the hoarder who has pack rat stuff in their living room to where they can't walk around. The person whose toilet broke and they're going to the bathroom in a bucket. Not saying that I'm doing this, but these are the people that I'm referring to. The people that have no one and have animals and somehow lose control and end up hoarding cats or dogs or animals of some sort. I want you to know, those of you who are out there who watch these shows and make fun of these people, I want you to know that that could be me. You see me here on this video. You see me talking to you. I'm a normal, everyday person. I'm a caring, loving person. But I started to get like that. And I don't mean like extreme, like having a ton of animals, having roaches and mice. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, somewhere along the line when I had a traumatic thing happen to me years ago, I won't give exact times because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but something triggered and I don't think I realized it. And so the damaged me went through another abandonment issue that I have twice within a year. And somewhere along that line, I went back within myself, even though I didn't think I did. And I started to, and I'm not rich. I live paycheck to paycheck. I would go to thrift shops or sales or whatever. And I started buying things. And now in my living room, because I'm trying to prepare for the holiday in Christmas time, to maybe paint my living room, at least trim and stuff in the hallway so that my house is nice, right? I want to fix it up a little bit, but I don't have much money to do that. And it's just me by myself. But when I go in there, Now, I've been doing very well for months now, where I've been putting stuff in bins, organizing things in boxes. I threw out a lot of stuff, and I've been mailing stuff and gifting stuff. But what happened for me was I got to that point where I went in there and I got overwhelmed. And the only way I can describe it is I went in there and I felt like I was drowning. I felt overwhelmed. So then I came back here in my room, my safe zone with my dogs, and then I felt even more overwhelmed because there's clutter everywhere. Because I start in one place and then I end up getting sidetracked and go to another room, and then I get sidetracked and then I go in another room, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I was just upset and crying and so lost on Sunday that I felt like I was drowning. And then I ran across this lady's video, which if I can find it on my YouTube, I will link it below. And it overwhelmed me with sadness and shame. I felt embarrassed. I was like, how can I share this information with people and let them know the real me, that I hide behind this pain of abandonment in my life? And how do I heal that? Because I thought I healed it. I've been purging. I've been realizing, and realization is the key, right? Knowing that it's going on in your life. So I would give you an example. I have stuff that somehow I accumulated. So I got all these bins and all these boxes that I got. And so I would put stuff in boxes and label it and then just stack it up in the living room. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know what happened. I just lost track of things, and I have clothes in boxes and my jewelry stuff and my crystal stuff in the spare room all over the place, and I can't get organized because when I start to do something, I get overwhelmed, and then I feel pain, and then I feel sorrow, and then I feel shame, and then I get emotional, and then I get mad at myself, and then I feel shame again, and it's a vicious circle. Now, I was doing really, really well, but somehow with this download, it kicked up all this stuff, and now I'm having a very hard time. So Sunday was the worst because I had the hoarding thing happen, and then I had the memory stuff. So not only did I have the, vulnerability of being a young adult sexually assaulted by an adult who was supposed to be in charge of us and protecting us, to feeling like a failure in my own house because my goal was to organize and pack up stuff to be able to move them in the kitchen temporarily while I paint, while I clean the baseboards, clean the walls, and start with the hallway first and then do the living room. And somewhere along the line, I somehow just get overwhelmed with pain and shame and guilt and all these things, and then I shut down. So my best friend, I texted him and he told me to go for a ride with the dogs. So what did I do Sunday? I got in the car with the dogs and I went for a ride. I went to Starbucks and treated myself, even though I'm dirt poor. I really wanted a coffee, and the dogs got a puppuccino, and then I went for a ride with some music with them, and then I came home. And I felt better, but I couldn't stop crying, and that's not like me. I mean, I do cry because I have to, because you have to heal yourself, because I got here because I would hide my emotions, and I would bury my tears because tears were a weakness. So I've learned not to do that anymore, but I felt so raw on Sunday. And then Monday at work, I felt like every time someone came over, I was going to cry. Or if I saw something on the news, or if I saw a commercial, or if I was listening to music a certain way, that guess what? I would cry. And that is not like me. I felt like my nerves were on the outside of my body. And so then on the outside, I got to work on Monday and Tuesday and Monday, Tuesday, and today. And I'm very aware of other people around me. And now this is ego talking. So this is my ego, right? I'm not a jealous person, and I'm not a huge ego person. I will never be that person who gets so stuck up if I ever, have a gazillion people on this channel. I'm never going to be one of those people with that ego that thinks they're better than anybody, because I've never been that way and I never will be that way. I'm very grateful and I'm very down to earth about things. But it's like your ego is telling you, well, here you are, Chris, doing all this work. So you're working through these steps, and the universe keeps throwing these mazes and things to work through within you. You know, now here you go. Here's the sexual abuse. You know, here's another thing for you to deal with. And it's, you know, pushing all these things ahead to get you to go get where you're supposed to get so that you can help people. But yet you see other people around you that are half the person you are. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean spiritually. Half the person you are and not a very good person. And I don't mean everybody around me. I mean certain people. And they get everything handed to them, meaning they have a great job. They make twice as much money as you. You know, they're supposedly, you know, doing this or doing that, but they always get things handed to them. They always have people around in their family to help them or friends to help them. They've never had the traumatic things that you've had in your life, but yet they're a crappy person and they're doing great. So I'm not saying that I'm jealous, and I'm not saying my ego is doing that. I'm just saying that that is what I'm well aware of. And I don't like seeing it that way. I don't like looking at people that way. However, this download that we had and this crap that I have to deal with, which I'm sure if you're watching this right now and you're relating to this, you're going to be nodding your head going, yeah, exactly. So what I want to say to all of you out there that are feeling this, who can relate to this, who this video is speaking to, you have anxiety, you have panic attacks, you have PTSD, you're an introvert, you're an intuitive, you're sensitive, you have empathy. All of you out there who are like me, who can relate to all those things I just said, hold on to your personality. And what I mean by that is hold on to your faith and your personality and what you truly care about, who you truly are, the core of who you are, the core of who Chris is, the core of whoever you are. Hold on to that during whatever this wave of crap that's going on right now. Just remember, like I told myself yesterday, just remember that there's a reason that we are being brought to the front of the line to deal with crap that most people in a lifetime never go through or never have to face. You'll meet those people that have had maybe a little bit of the trauma, you know, and they don't deal with it very well and they bury it. And then 20 years down the road, they're like, oh, well, you know, I want to reach my spiritual level. I want to do this. I want to do that. They take some classes here and there, but they never deal with what they truly need to deal with to help. So what'll happen is there'll be bliss and a high vibration and doing really great. And then for some reason, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, even 20 years down the road, all of a sudden they crash and they don't understand why. And then they get angry because they don't understand why they are reverting back. It's because they never dealt with things that they needed to deal with. So when people say, well, I don't know, you know, I'm fine, I'm happy. No, most people have something that they need to face. So the purpose of this video is to let you know that I'm real and I'm going through this. So I feel like there's tons of people out there that may watch my channel or someone may know that's feeling this way that can share this video with them to let them know they're not alone. So basically what I promised myself I would do is starting tonight after I post this video, every night this week, I'm going to post either a video or go live. And if you have questions that you want me to answer, please comment below or email me with them. I'm going to answer your questions. And if you have anything that you want to bring to my attention that you want me to talk about, I'll also answer those. But what I'm going to do is basically tell you the steps that have helped me the last couple days, because I was pretty bad on Sunday and Monday. Tuesday was slightly better. Today is much, much better. But I did a lot of energy work on Tuesday. And today, this morning, I had to really ground myself. So I'm putting this video out there to let you know that you're not alone. And then I'm sorry I got emotional earlier, but I wanted those of you out there who are living the life that I am living, where you have clutter in your house, where you can't even, okay, I'm going to admit this. I can't sit in my living room and watch TV because I have clutter everywhere. even on the chair in there, the beat up recliner that I have. I don't have a nice couch. I don't have nice furniture because I can't afford it. I have bins and laundry everywhere and boxes with stuff in them. I'm ashamed of that. But it's a process and it's something I need to heal. And if you're out there and you're having the same issues, please know you're not alone and that you shouldn't be ashamed, just like I shouldn't be ashamed. That's other people shaming us. This is who we are, and this is the pain that we've gone through our entire life. This is what we did. We attached ourselves, even though we're not materialistic people, we attached ourselves to items because people have let us down. That's the part that made me cry my eyes out all Sunday, is because I never feel, and I still feel this a little bit, I never felt worthy of anyone, meaning no one ever made me feel worthy. So I'm going to leave that with you because this is at 20 minutes and my first video that got cut off. I'm serious. If you have questions that you want me to answer, I'm going to plead with you all now. And in every video I do going forward, please email me those questions. I'd like to do a Q&A on here. I'm also considering doing a live feed either tomorrow night or Friday night. If you're interested, let me know, and I will do that. I hope you all are doing really great. It's very cold here. It's supposed to have a freeze tonight, so I have the heat cranking, and I am cold. I feel like I'm back in New England, so I hope you all have a great evening, and I thank you for coming to my channel. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of my new content. And please, if you feel that someone may like this channel, meaning it may resonate with them, it may help them, please feel free to share. Once I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to have a giveaway. So don't forget that. Thank you and have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.